The second installment of the Portswigger Security Academy lab walkthroughs. Today we'll be doing the login bypass SQL injection lab. That'll be the second lab in the learning path. So if you're going along with us and you're doing the first module SQL injection right now, this will be the second one. It kind of builds off of some of the fundamentals that we went over in my last video, but we'll go ahead and get into it. So you can see I kind of got the lab loaded up right now. And as the title hints us at, there is a SQL injection in the login functionality of this website. So we want to go over to the My Account page here. And we kind of want to understand what's happening on the back end of this page. So if you're not familiar, the way you send this form data is with a post request. And you can kind of think of, just for now, a post request as a way to send data to the back-end server. So let's check this functionality out. We'll just use test and test as a username and password. We're going to go ahead and come over to Burp Suite and turn the intercept on so we can suspend this request in the proxy. So I'm going to click login and we're going to send it through here. And we're going to check out what we have. So what we can see is there's a CSRF token. Don't worry about that for now. There is an ampersand, and that's just a way of sending one more parameter. You can keep adding them as they come on. So then we see the username and the password. So these are the two areas of interest that we want to look at here. What we saw in the lab description was a SQL query that sets up a way for common logic for programmers to retrieve users from a user table from a database. And what we're going to try to do here is log into the application as the administrator without actually providing the administrator's password. So we want to subvert that query that's retrieving the username to check against and bypass it. So what we can do, if you're familiar with the last video, the technique that we used was we closed off that data point or that data entry with a single quotation mark. But what we want to do this time, instead of at the beginning, we actually want to enter data into that input field. So into that first area where it's looking for the username in the query, we want to actually enter something. And we want to enter administrator. Then we want to close it off because now we want to inject some of our, the little bit of malicious logic. So obviously it's going to be looking for the username first and then the password. What we can do is we can use that double hyphen technique to comment out the rest of the query. So what we're doing by that is we're saying, hey, look for the user administrator, and then we're going to comment out the password portion of the query here with this double hyphen. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and forward this to the application. Go ahead and forward all this through, turn the intercept on, and you kind of saw it in the background, but we solved the lab. So here you go, you logged straight in as the administrator. You can see we're on their page and we've solved the lab. Check back in tomorrow for the next lab walkthrough, and thank you guys for joining me.